Dr. Troughton and Dr. Manville, to our administrators, and I include the superintendent of buildings and grounds. You can't keep these old buildings in shape unless you've got a Wayne Hardacre on staff.
And he and his staff do, I think, an incredible job.
They do.
I'm absolutely proud.
And our administrators do a great job. It is so obvious to us and hopefully to the community that you've got a team effort. And, that's the strength. And I just can't speak highly enough of our teaching staff and the assistants and the paraprofessionals and what they did for our town in their last contract. And it was a 3-year contract, so it's the gift that's still giving. That's why our kids are doing well. And I would even say that we have a community where parents are engaged in their kids' education, and that's number one. You send a message from home that school matters. You send that message when you make them go to school. A lot of communities where they have an issue with an achievement gap, they also have a problem with attendance. You make your kids get to school, you make them get there on time, and our teachers will just take it from there. In our community, North Reading has demonstrated again and again that they will support a budget that's managed appropriately, and we've done that. And so working with the different boards over the last several years, the cooperative effort has just really lent itself to support when it comes to our budget, because it wasn't always like that, right? You remember those days, Jerry? It wasn't always like that. So our kids have the support from the top down when they get in the school buildings, and from the home and the community on up. And that's the most important thing you can do for your kids, is show them that school's important. Get to parent nights. Read their report cards. Ground them if you don't like them. Because that sends the right message. And that's why North Reading doesn't have an achievement gap. We have a funding problem, but we don't have an achievement gap issue.
And the middle school survey that we did showed that 97% of the kids say that somebody at home cares what their grades are.
Right.
That's a critical factor. You won't go to an inner city school and see that. I'll tell you that.
So, thank you everybody for coming out. Did anyone else want to add? No.
Maureen,
Thank you. Yep.
can I just make a parting thought?
Sure.
I appreciate the fact that we have cooperative boards locally, and we have an incredible school department and school committee and parent support. But you just mentioned that we have a funding issue, and it's at the state level, and we refuse to tolerate the foundation budget, the situation that we're in. But that means that active parents and citizens can do something to influence the budget, and we shouldn't give up hope, nor should we give up our activity level. And if parents or concerned citizens have 30 seconds and they can make a sign that we could post on a Stand for Children website that will be hand-delivered on March 23rd, and if parents have 3 hours to dedicate to influencing legislators, then March 23rd would be an opportunity to do that, and I hope people will contact me to get involved. And if they only have 30 minutes, 30 seconds for a sign, 3 hours for a visit to a legislator in Boston on Beacon Hill, 30 minutes, Marcy Bailey took the time to send a letter to Speaker DeLeo and Senate President Therese Murray, and I have copies of it. And if we can get even 15, 20, 30 parents to imitate the spirit of this letter by just maybe changing the language just a little bit, but by personalizing it and putting it in the mail, all of these efforts will make a difference to send a message that we can't tolerate the cuts to Chapter 70 and local aid, and that we do need the healthcare reform tools so that the local municipalities can do what they need to do to save money and have more cost efficiencies. So for anyone that can help with 30 seconds, 30 minutes, and 3 hours, in the next 2 weeks we have plenty of opportunities to make a difference so that we don't have to realize these cuts, these principals, and these administrators, and you are going to have to make.
Will copies of them be available on the Henry website?
We could do that. We could probably do that. I'm going to hand deliver them to everyone who's here tonight, and we'll find other venues to get them out for certain.
But going to the nru.org
Yes.
website.
Sure.
Yep.
And I just want to follow that up by saying that we have a profound opportunity on November 2nd to make changes in our state legislature. And I know we you know, are shielded from saying this, but, and I love our representatives, Representative Jones and Senator Tarr have been very supportive of our situation. But we need to be making calls to legislatures that are outside of our district at this point. I've just never seen such out-of-touch behavior with respect to spending in this state, and it's really disheartening. I'm probably one of the most quiet people on this committee, but this is the one thing that I really feel like we can't change anything unless we change the people who represent us overall. And I signed the letter that Marcy Bailey gave us from last week on behalf of the school committee, as we did by consensus.
Right.
And this will be sent to Representative Jones, to Senator Tarr, and I'm going to send it to every other legislator in the House and Senate.
Okay, good.
So that, you know, we make it loud and clear that, you know, it's a collective effort to make education realized for kids in this state, so that they're not leaving the state to find other things to do, because they're not getting what they need here. I'd like them to stay here and contribute to the communities, because we make an effort to make it possible for them to do that. So thank you for everyone's effort to contact their legislator and to keep fighting. It's very important to keep our voices heard.
I want to add one other thing. You know, it's not always a rewarding experience to sit on a board like this, but I got involved with the create a sign, because I'm a marketing guy and I love to do stuff like that. And North Reading has more signs than any other community. We're not big. The support and interest from this town for education is incredible. It's incredible.
My last sign, I noted that there were 20% of the number of signs.
It is
Contributed. We were over
absolutely
90.
unbelievable. And that really
I've forwarded to so many people.
was a real kind of positive feedback thing for me. So that's why I'm running on.
All our kids will thank us.
Right.
I would
But-
actually like pictures of those signs to put together in a video. and
Oh, they're
put
awesome.
online. That
They're
would be
all,
great.
yeah,
Well,
they're really cool.
I have screenshots.
You do?
I do.
Awesome.
I only have a couple, but, you know, it's visual, it's creative, it's what the kids would like to do, obviously. And, you know, so it's just a different media than we've used before. Last year was postcards, before it was petitions, and Stan, I'm sure, will come up with something even more creative next year. But this is easy. There's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse to create, you know, that you couldn't create a bumper sticker in 30 seconds. Everybody can do it. A parent, a grandparent, a friend, a neighbor, a colleague, someone in another community. And I guess that's my biggest concern, is we do make a lot of noise in North Reading, but North Reading residents need to reach out to their friends in Marblehead, in Swampscott, in Hingham, in all of these other communities, because we need a broader reach, and those folks can help us send a louder message. So that's what we need to do.
So, just to remind everybody, we will have another budget forum.
Correct.
Stay tuned.
I'd like to request an executive session to, if we could be updated by Dr. Manville on a disciplinary issue.
Okay.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Cliff. Second, Cliff. Roll call vote, Cliff?
Aye.
Jerry? Mel?
Aye.
Karen? Chair votes aye. Thank you.
Thank you. So,